Hey everybody, welcome back. Old School with you here, and once again, Disney Infinity. We're going to get into the toy box. Wanted to do something for the holidays, and I had a couple, not really ideas, but just things I've never done before that I want to mess with. Gonna do my first ever, and I've thought about doing this in the past, didn't get around to it. So I want to do a toy box that combines 3D and 2D gameplay. Sound interesting? I think it is. I have no idea how exactly it's going to work, but together we shall find out. Yes, we'll start new. Give me an empty. Hello, puppy. I've never done a 2D game before. I'm not a big fan, generally speaking, although I've played a couple that I liked that were done by Infiniy creators. There's one in particular really good, and that was the, I want to say it was on a 1.0. I have it on my PS3.
Greetings, my friend. It is I, Jack, the Pumpkin King.
And who better to help us out? Well, I guess we could have gone with a couple of others, but we went with Jack. Alright, so it's going to be one of those save Christmas kind of things. Let's start getting the mood set. We'll set the theme for that. And then, actually, let me go grab a couple of discs. I remembered to pull Jack's out, but I did not remember. Doesn't matter which one I pick, it'll always be the last. I've got 3 sleeves of discs in those handy little crates that you were able to get from Toys R Us. They had a hell of a deal on those at the end. The only problem with them is you actually have to pull the disc up and out to see which one it is. I generally have them all organized, or at least when you pull the first one out, you know you can skip the second because it's going to be the same so far as character and or theming. Alright, so I'm 0 for 1. If I pull the last one, it won't be there. If I pull the middle one, it'll be the last one. You know how that works. Oh, wait a minute. Right off the bat, on the second tube. Not bad. So we'll drop that down there. Would you like to switch your entire world? Yes. Oh yeah, much nicer. Poof. Now we got it. Something we can work with. Okay. So, and again, not having any text or anything like that, we're just gonna have to start on one side of the map and work my way over to here. Go to our terrain. A little bit bigger than that. I found it's always good if you don't go too big because it allows you a lot more leeway. So like I said, eventually we're going to end up with a 2D portion to this map. Oop, did I pass what I was looking for? Oh, there it is. Put that in there. And just so I get my spacing out of the way early on, I'm going to go ahead and put those corners up that I'm always fond of. This out over here, and this is the larger one. And I'll just bump this over like that. Good news is once you place one in, then it's easy to find all the other ones just by clicking on that one. I hate to just leave the edges massive. Flat and squared off like they normally are. I like to put this on there, just I feel it gives it a better look. What's up, Noonie? I'm just getting started, man. I don't know how long. I'm still trying to figure out what the final build is going to really be. I just kind of have a loose theme in my head with no exact direction at the moment. But what I've always found with this game is it kind of leads you there if you start laying pieces down. So sooner or later, something's just going to pop in my head and say, oh yeah, that's what we can do. For some reason, though, these cliffs are not looking like they're the same theme. Actually, that's because they're not the same theme. Why is that? Oh, I'll retheme it. Yeah, these are going off the old theme. I wonder if I didn't set it. That's probably what I did wrong, but we'll fix it right now. Well, why do I not see it? Oh, frozen flourish, that's it. There we go. So this will be part 1. Then we're going to go to our 2D. And again, I'm not entirely sure what that's going to look like yet, because I've never done one before. What are these? Wow, it's pretty cool. Yeah, I'm gonna probably mess with some of that. Where am I at here? Back this way. Alright, so I'm thinking somewhere back here we'll begin the 2D portion. So, why the different sizes, you may ask? Well, hey, I want spacing to be right. This will be the 2D version. Oh, I love this. This is a lot of fun. It's fun to play games, but it's just as much fun, if not more, to build them. If you're not familiar with this, at the end of the day, this is going to be an actual game with logic and all that kind of stuff. And not for anything, playing them's cool, but building them's actually a whole other animal. And very cool in itself. It's probably not a ton of fun to watch unless you're a creator and you like seeing other people do their work, because I've seen several other guys that do videos doing these builds, and the guys that are really good especially, I just love watching them build stuff. There you go. Now, you played it on your iPad, but did you do any building? Or did you just play games that, like, you were able to pick up and buy or whatever? 'Cause if you haven't done any building, you might be missing the best part of the game. So one of the things I've done a lot with mine is I'll take a popular game and convert it to Disney. One of the best ones I've done is Dying Light, and it came out real good. And if you've ever played Dying Light and you play mine, it's obviously Disneyized, so it's not quite the same, but it's pretty close. It's got the whole day to night cycle, and at nighttime it gets much more difficult and horrifying and all that kind of stuff. Built a haunted house. Alright, well, let's start. Did it do anything, or was it just a haunted house? Okay, so there's that. And I'm going to put some ledges and stuff in the front so you can't see all this, but... Yeah, did the haunted house do anything, though? Was there, I don't know, things pop out or anything like that? So once we get up into this part, it's going to turn 2D, where you can only side scroll, which I've never done before, so it's going to be interesting. Oh, snap. Which I've never done it before, so I'm going to have to work with some new cameras that I've not got used to. And there'll be some bad guys that'll jump out and try and knock you off, and then this will end up going down to the somewhat finish line. See, the logic is the fun part. I mean, building, I like that too, but it's once you start putting the logic in and making special effects pop in and sound effects pop in and really bring the game to life. That's always my favorite part of this. Let me do this real quick. Look, the first one's the first one, and it actually had some good stuff. So far as building is concerned, yeah, they've come a long way. I mean, when you get to 2.0, you can do a lot more, and 3.0, you can do a lot more. I'll always wonder what a 4.0 would have been like. But I wouldn't say the first one was crap. I thought they had some really good stuff, and you have to remember that was the first one in the line, so I think they did actually a pretty good job. You know, I can't say a whole lot. I haven't built anything in 1.0. I did my Disney Infinity experience backwards. I didn't get into it until 3.0. I didn't even really know what it was. And after I fell in love with 3.0, I bought 2.0, and then I bought 1.0. So 2.0 I can play on the PS4, but the 1.0 is only on my PS3, which I don't get around to very often. It's in another room, and I don't have any way to stream it. So, hence it goes unused much of the time. I'm just going to kind of move these things around right now, but pretty safe to say they'll get moved again. And I've got all of the play sets for it. I haven't messed with one of them yet just because it's kind of inconveniently located in the house. I've got the Lone Ranger, I want to play it. I've got the their version of the toy box battle kind of thing where it had, I think, several, but it definitely had the Toy Story characters, Buzz Lightyear thing. And again, I haven't played it yet, but keep telling myself I'm going to on a weekend or something, and then I don't. But lately I've gotten to a point where I'm kind of needing a break from the ones that I play regularly. Last of Us, Dying Light, stuff like that. And even the new releases that I picked up, I'm really not liking many of them at all. I'm already pretty much done with Call of Duty. I don't see me playing much more of that. It's just garbage. And Star Wars Battlefront is such a huge disappointment that I haven't picked it up in 4 days, and I just don't care. So it may be happening sooner, now that I'm finally at that point where there's nothing new that interests me. I did download, what is that thing? It's a free game for the membership this month, First Son, Second Son, whatever it's called there. And I know it didn't get great reviews and all that, but it was free, so visually it looks like it'll be decent. I might give it a shot, and I might just get tired of it quickly. Alright, so what I am thinking is the first part of the map is going to be... I think it's going to be a maze. That's what I kind of wonder. Do I want to go with a maze, or do I just want to... Yeah, I think I'm just going to make it instead of a maze. I've done that already. That's not right. I think instead we'll just go with a kind of a hide and seek kind of thing. Got it. Maybe we'll put some objects out there that you have to find. I do want to mountain this up a little bit. Give it a little bit more texture this way. Give it that snowdrift effect. Alright, I'm gonna have to move this guy out of the way. Now we're gonna get to these little ledges and cliffs and stuff to decorate this out with. Wondering is if I do this, then you're not going to see the gaps, but for a 2D I think you have to see the gaps. Ooh, that's big. Let's go this way. Like that, see? Kind of does itself if you just let it go. Let it go. Do you see how I did that? Let it go. Frozen, right? That's right. There should be a small climbing texture piece here. It says it's large, but it's actually not that large. Jokes just write themselves. not going to worry about the back too much because we won't be getting back here. And just to make sure of that, we're going to put our barrier block in. So again, if you're not familiar with the logic, right now this blue block that I'm placing in, this is a barrier block, so if you've ever played a video game, and there's a part of the map that you can see it, but you can't get to it, it's because they're using the same thing. It's basically a barrier block. And it's invisible. Right now you can see it, it's blue, but once I put it back into game mode, it'll be invisible. I'll probably have to stretch this out a little bit more, but for now I'm just going to leave it there. So now you can't see it, but I also... Oh, wait a minute. What just happened there? Oh, I didn't stretch it down this way. Alright, well, I cannot go here. It'll stop me. And I can go up the stairs, but I can't jump off because it will stop me. So that's kind of what they do. Now the other thing I can do is go into the properties and turn off that collision effect so you don't see that little warp. And now it's just not letting you go. And that's kind of what happens with every video game you buy when you have a map and you see something and you want to get to it and it says, nope, that's as far as you can go. It's a barrier block. And this is what I'm saying. All the parts are here to make pretty much any video game you can imagine. And there are ways of making it do things it doesn't want to do once you know how. So once we go 2D, you won't be able to fall off. Because it'll be 2D and you're going to lose your depth perception. So it would be unfair to do that. But if you don't jump these properly, you will fall down and get hurt. So there's part one logic. Barrier blocks. That's going to be our finish. Gonna fill in a lot more stuff here before we're done. Trying to think out of the vehicles we have. Flying vehicles. I don't know if we have anything that's even remotely close to a sled. Well, we have a bed that rhymes with sled. You know, I gotta drop that in there. I've never actually used this. I take it back, I did use it once. Somebody else built something that had it in there. Yeah. So there's no sled there. Wondering if any of the power discs. So these are all terrain and sky domes, right? Those are also. So this, with any luck, will be vehicles. Let's see. Yeah, a bunch of dinosaurs. That won't help. What's this? Oh, no. Well, guess what? Did it work or no? Let's try, maybe it's too many. There you are. It's not quite a sled, but it looks close enough. Alright, so that'll end up being our Santa Claus sled at the end of the day. I have to go without the reindeer. That's one thing I still haven't unlocked is his little reindeer friend, the skeleton reindeer. I'm trying to remember what I gotta do to unlock that. I just haven't gotten around to it. I think it's one of those deals where you gotta do all of the tutorials, and I'll get around to it eventually. Let's go back to here. I have to move that. We can do with this. Yeah, so I figure it's going to collide there. Yeah, they're not quite lined up, but that's alright. Move this guy. Now the only dilemma is actually a couple. See, this one right here is becoming a problem because of that lip sticking out there. Why is that not playing? Oh, I know why. Yeah. So I think what I need to do here is see what else we got here as options. Here you go. we go. Let's hoping that would cooperate. Let's see what we got here. Bam. Again, we're going to fill all this up with a lot more stuff. Some decorations. Let's see what we got going on in here. So, can I? Technically, probably pretty close to accurate. I actually did start one point in time to build one for, heck, what was it? Not the financial district. Checkpoint. I started to build a checkpoint map at one point in time. Man, it's like, I can make one that'll look pretty close. The problem is, what's the point? Because I can never get the game to play a Last of Us style. The big thing about those maps... I might be able to use this, by the way. The big thing about those maps is that they're designed at the right height for cover. So you duck down, your head is just below a window ledge. Well, realistically, if I was to build a wall and put up in a window with this, the way it's scaled, let me see if I can bang something out here real quick. So for the sake of argument, where are we at? So just pretend for a moment this is going to be the wall over at the 24-hour bank. Oops. And that's the window looking out. Well, as you can see, it's already too tall for them to even see out, much less to shoot at anyone. And it's possible to bring it down, but to do that, you'd have to really put a lot of effort in, man. You've got to start putting pathfinders in. You have to link every one of these blocks to the pathfinder and then manually adjust their height and probably bring them down 2 notches apiece, but even then there's no ducking down. That's an incredible amount of work. So it's possible to make one that would look pretty darn close. I would not invest the time in it, especially with the fact that you can't share them online anymore. The only way for anyone to play this toy box I'm working on is to do a share play with me, but they'll never be able to save it to theirs. I feel like I might be able to do something with this, so I'm going to stick this over here for now. And if I end up not doing something with it, well, that's alright too. Now, of course, we're also going to have enemies popping out on you here as you're trying to find these things. I'm going to bounce around here a little bit. Let's see. And I may end up having to watch a little bit of a tutorial on YouTube because I've never done to the toys. Side step camera. Pretty sure it's a side step camera that we're looking at. And I'm thinking if we place it even here. Properties. Use defined durations on. I think that's not the camera. Maybe it is a target. I think it is a target camera. And then we just set it differently. New logic connection. Yeah, there we go. So we set it. Wait. There we go. So the target is player 1. So let's try this real quick. So we did the barrier block. Now we're going to do our trigger areas. Put one there. And again, these will be invisible just like the blue barrier block. Put one there. So as soon as your player enters this box at all, what we're going to tell it to do when it's entered by a player, and in this case, instead of, we could make it player once, it's only going to be a one-player game, but any qualifies as well. Then we want this to be activated. So then this camera is going to take over, and you'll lose your 3D. Maybe. Now when the player enters here, we deactivate, and that brings us back to our normal 3D camera. So now, if I'm right, like I said, I've never done the whole 2D platforming stuff. So you're coming up here, and again, you can't fall off because we got the barrier block there to make sure you're safe from that. Alright, well, it kind of did what I wanted to do, but it's not the 2D yet, so I've got to get that part. And it might just be a setting. Oops. Bye, Missy. And then we get there and it turns back off again. Let's go back here and see if there's new logic connection, actor connection. Properties. Display, camera type, follow. Let's try something else. What do we have? Stationary, focus. We can try stationary. Now we've only got the barrier block over here, so you will fall off the front. Nope, it's not doing anything different. It's giving me the same thing. It's actually worse because now I can't. Oh yeah, stationary is not following. What were my other camera options? I don't want the bird's eye for sure, I know that. Angled camera, I don't think so. Logic connection. When it's activated. Well, that doesn't tell me anything. I might do a party in a little bit. It's kind of hard for me to get into conversation while I'm doing one of these builds. I could kind of think out loud, and that's kind of what I do when I'm talking throughout these things, but to actually have a conversation, then I stop building altogether and just stare at the screen while I'm having a conversation. That's why I can kind of like peek over and look at comments and kind of respond quickly to that, but having a two-way dialogue ends up slowing down the building process quite a bit. Right, use camera position, set the zoom for distance, vertical offset, horizontal offset. Still feeling like this is the one I want. Let's get rid of this. Let's do the same thing, different camera. So when it's entered by player any, we'll activate it. When this one's entered by player any, deactivate. Well, no, I don't want it to shoot from the front of the trigger. I need it to cover this entire line. And this one should, I think, do that. I don't think I have to put it on a path creator, but again, I may end up just having to do a tutorial. We'll see right now. There it is. That's what I was looking for. That glow through right there, I hate that. So I can turn that off. See? Figured it out. And again, this is what I enjoy about these games, is messing with the logic and that. Now, while I can't fall off this way because I have that invisible wall, I don't have one here. So I'm going to need to add that because, again, with the 2D, you want to make sure the person doesn't fall off. Now, it's another thing if you fall off through that. So what I'm going to do now is go back to my barrier block here, and I'm going to place that from right about there. Going to drag that all the way down the length. Now again, I've got to line it up with this inner one. Take that to that point. And I'm just going to tighten it up a little bit. Really won't matter, but... And now... Can't go off this way. One thing real quick. You want to take that collision effect. Oh, it's off. Oh, here we go. Turn that one off as well. Otherwise you get that little warpy thing and I don't like it. There's our 2D camera. I still have one last thing to do, but now no more falling forward and no more falling backward. All you have to do is jump. And while that seems pretty simple, there are going to be enemies that are going to be trying to knock you off of that before you make it to the finish line. I'm going to end up moving my trigger box a little bit closer to the end here. And that means I got to stretch this out. Okay, and then last thing, go to our properties for the camera, and that glow through, that's that thing that's annoying. Gotta turn that off. So this time when Jack goes through all that, you won't see that green outer glow. Now up to here I can still fall off, because the box doesn't start until you reach the top. And their glow is gone. So there's your 2D. Now I could even make this multi-level, so far as having to jump up to the next level, kind of like a Mario kind of thing. And maybe I'll do that. I might mess with it a little bit. I can put some tools in there that'll give you a little air boost onto you and get you to hop up higher. Or some sliding platforms. Ooh, maybe that's what we'll do. See? That's what I'm talking about. The game just kind of takes over on its own after a little bit. So instead of having us jump to a solid platform, we will replace the solid platform with something that's either rotating. It would have to go kind of back and forth, I think. Yeah, that's the ticket. And there you go. And debating on whether I want to put stairs on the other side as well or something different. I think it's something different. But what? Probably gonna need to move this thing out of here. Oop, did I miss it? What the heck? Grab it. Huh. Strange. Now that's something else I'm gonna have to fix, which is that music. And I'll. Alright, so here's. Well. Alright, so I can't leave this here because you'd have to have the power disc on to use it. And I'll have to put it into a vehicle creator. But if I do that, then I'm not gonna be able to set the music. I know how I can do it. Again, there's ways of tricking the game. Like right now, if I was just going to leave this in here, if it wasn't a game, if it wasn't a vehicle that's on a power disc, which this is, if it was just one of the vehicles that comes with the game, it'd be very simple because it's going to be there, and then you can hop in, and as soon as you hop in, tell it to play what music. But because this won't be here, because I'm not going to keep the power disc on forever, I'm going to have to put it into a vehicle summoner or whatever they call it. Is that a creativity toy? I don't think it is, but let's see. Object generator, friend generator, enemy. That's a weapon. Teleporter. I'm pretty sure it's not. Oh, we're going to need a checkpoint too, aren't we? And where that little red dot is, that is the direction your player will be facing in. And I think we can make this invisible. And hidden, there you go. So now, if you should perish, that is now your checkpoint. So you go up here. There's that. And then, oh, I made it that time. And then you start back at the beginning as opposed to where you fell from. Awfully close. There's also a setting I can do for Game Maker where it'll take away that little prompt to get out of the camera view. And the collision block again will keep me from going this direction. Alright, so we got that. I was looking for a vehicle. What is it called? Monster truck panel. Summoner. Vehicle summoner. Now, because the power disc is on, I can... Whoa, easy there, big fella. Because the power disc is on, I can work with that here. So our new logic connection. We're going to go to our properties, rather. Generated vehicle options. Okay, I know what I need. Another trigger box. And it doesn't have to be a trigger box. You could use a dynamic trigger, which does the same thing. It's just extra steps. And I'm lazy, so yeah. Right now I'm going to place it here. It'll end up going somewhere else, but... New logic, whenever it's entered by any player, which is player any. There we go. And we want hexagon power disc. Captain Hook's ship. Now I no longer need the power disc for Captain Hook's ship. I can take that away. And I can still get it to reappear now, anytime, through here. Now I'm not going to leave this large object sitting out because it kind of looks goofy. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to go and get a locator. First I'm going to drop it there, and then I'm going to connect it to here. So now I can hide this anywhere I want, but this is where the object, in this case Captain Hook's ship, is going to appear. And if you look at this diamond, there's one blue tip right there. Well, the blue tip tells you what direction this, in this case, vehicle is going to appear facing in. So I'm going to say, for the sake of argument right now, I think I got that right. Yep, facing that way. Now I can go and hide this where no one will ever see it. Whoa. So let's stick it down there, out of sight, out of mind, nobody sees it. Now let's just say, for sake of argument, I put that right there. And there'll be something that leads you to the box and makes you go into it. I could put a radar marker over it or something like that. I need a little help. There we are. Whenever the wand is out, you can see exactly what you're looking for. So let's say you came through a cave, you get to here, and then, boom! There's Santa's ship. Now, as I said, Not gonna let me take it away, is it? I wonder if I can... Let's see if it reappears or if that's it. Nope, reappeared. Well... I'm not going to worry about it too much right now because it'll disappear when I save and reload the game. It won't be there until you go in the box. But what I was going to say is that I can't link getting in the vehicle to changing music because the vehicle hasn't appeared. But the trigger box will be there. So what I can do is that once I leave the trigger box, have that kick in some music. That's not like Pirates of the Caribbean. And for that, I don't know if I went that far or not. There we go. I'm not sure what kind of Christmassy stuff I might have, but let's see. So new logic whenever I exit that box. Let's try whimsical. No, better yet, let's do this. Pretty sure it's gonna be like Steamboat Willie. Trying to pick some of these titles that might have a chance at fitting. So now when you escape, let's say it went to this one. Yeah, Steamboat Willie, I figured. That's not happening. Boring. Boring again. I kind of like it. Alright, so again, I can hide this. Well, how interesting. Why would that have happened? Oh, again, they should all disappear. I'm surprised I got two, though. Oh, I guess I knocked the other one off the surface of the planet. I don't know. So we'll get rid of that once I save it and load it back in. So now, instead, new logic connection, whenever it is exited by any player, it'll press this button. And this button will give us the music. Alright, so let's go ahead and save. Countdown to Christmas. And yes. So basically when I load it back in, there shouldn't be any vehicles anymore. And hopefully we'll have our original theme music playing, because I only want this music playing at the very end. Alright, so now let's load it. Good start. Ah!
I have returned.
Alright, well the music's saved. That's not a problem. I'm just gonna have to... My bigger question is... Alright, good. The vehicles are not there. And... not there. Alright. Music I can deal with. So music is gone. And let's see where we go on air. Oops. Everything else is still connected, so all I need is when this button is pressed. And what do we go with? Fun on that, right? Ready for fun. So as long as I don't walk into this yellow box, then we're good. What is this? Some kind of shadow. Alright. So I just gotta make sure I don't go into that yellow box until I'm done with everything. And save it. And after that, we're good. So we'll come in, we'll have the map ready to go. We got to fill this out some more. So I think what it's going to be is helping Santa Claus get the things delivered. There's going to be a bunch of lost toys that we're going to have to collect. And then once we collect them all, we're going to have to get across this challenging map, which I'm going to add a couple of levels to, I think. And maybe add an element of having to hop up and float up or whatever the case may be. Yeah, it's something I've never tried, and I don't know if I can do this or not, but I'm going to find out right now. It's one of my favorite things to mess with in this, and I've used it in a couple of my maps. Thinking it might be under gameplay toys. They have this fan that's really cool, and it kind of just blows you up in the air, and you kind of float. And you can control it to a certain extent, so far as the direction, and but I don't recall. It might be under platforming. What I'm wondering is if I can connect it to a locator, so I don't have to have a big fan there. I can just have the little locator, which will be invisible. What's up, Leland? How are you? Merry Christmas. Okay, I don't think the fan is here, so what else? Platforming? There it is. So here's the $1,000,000 question. One thing I just learned with this recently, I never messed with it that much, is that you can theme it. So I can give it the same theme. Outstanding. Get all your Christmas shopping done? I really should have paid attention. I forget what I went with on the steps. Styrofoam. Aqua, hologram. That's what I went with. I was hoping you were going to say yes, because then I would have, of course, said next, would you get me? So yeah, you can change the theme on the fans, which I didn't know that until a recent build where I was just messing around a little bit. So, like if you're doing a Tron build or something like that, that would work. You can make it kind of blend in with just about anything. What are you laughing about? I was being serious. Sorry. Ho ho ho. Alright, now my question is, can I connect a locator? It'd be real cool if I can. Oop. And the jury says, oh, no. No locator for you. Thank you so much. I appreciate that very much. You a Disney Infinity fan, or you just happen to catch the video? Outstanding. Well, I invite you also then, if you're on the PlayStation, to go check us out on our community page. The community page is Infiniy Ever After, and that's where we have an entire membership of like 184 people that all joined after the servers went down. And we still play a bunch, and we do share play sessions so that people can like go inside toy boxes we build, and we can go inside theirs and still play some of the play sets and things like that. And if you can't find it, you can just add me, and then you can find it through mine. And my gamer tag is old school WWF. Oh man, put me all the way back over here, did it? Excellent. Love to have you there. And what? Alright. Wants to play like that. I've got my ways too. I use this glider a lot when I do builds, because sometimes it likes to get cute and not let me go where I need to go. Alright, I kind of want to avoid the camera for a moment. Oop, wrong button. Get up and over it. See that? I'm walking on the air. It's a miracle. Alright. Now, what just happened? Oh, it works, it works, it works. Ooh! Help me, help me! Help me, help me! Don't let me fall! I'm falling! Huh. I can't get any height, though. Alright. Oh, got my block. Am I inside the block? No. Alright, well, it's good to know that that'll work. Probably not going to put that many of them there. Leave that one for a moment. And I'll leave that one. And then with what I'd like to see it do, let me see if I can bring this up higher. Nope. Unless I want to shorten those, which I can do that. So let me change this to this up here. You're a Lego person? Yeah, I'd be happy to take a look at that. I haven't done a lot of Legos myself. What did I just do? That's what I'm looking for. My pleasure. Now it should have saved. Uh-oh. I was starting to say. It should have saved the terrain. Let's see if it's here. Huh. That's unusual. Once you've used the power disk in a toy box build, normally it will save it in the ribbon. but it didn't seem to do that this time. So, fortunately, it's sitting right here. Get in there. Alright, back out. Try it again. Yeah, there it is. Surprising that it didn't save. Okay. Got that. And then I'm going to have to do the same over here. Only this time what I can do is just go with that. Maybe. And now that's going to let me bring this guy up. Might even be able to get away with. Collision. We're good. Multitasking. Good job. Alright, so I'm going to do the same thing over here. And make that go away. Take this and bring it up to here. And come over here and change that to a single block. That one I can actually center. And get rid of it. And we're going to replace that. Might have been faster if I'd have gone the way I was already at. Probably would have been faster. That's a laser fence I need. Ooh, that's a spinner. I don't want a spinner. Could get away with this, or I could get away with this. See, horizontal, that's going to be too easy to time. I think the flipper might not be bad. Problem with the spinner is it's going to end up going into the barrier walls, which will just keep on knocking the player back off, so the spinner's not an option. However, anything that's a single wide, like this, will work. Look at this, everybody streaming. Alright, let's see. Let me try it with the way it is, but I think it's going to be... I'm going to probably have to get rid of that fan. At least the first one. No. Alright, we're in 2D. Oh, whoa, whoa. Ah! Yeah, I'm gonna have to probably get rid of the fan. Much as I like the effect, it's making it pretty tough to work the rest of the course out. So, boom. So what I might do... Ah! And back to the checkpoint. There we go. So this is where the world of game testing comes in. I'm going to get rid of this to force you to use this. There it goes. And then once it gets you over to here... Ooh, ooh. There you go. Alright, I'm going to probably get rid of both fans then. Fan doesn't really work well with this. Instead, we'll just make this more about the platforming. So I'm going to get rid of that, which means I got to get rid of this so that you can see it's a dead fall if you miss. For a single jump character like Skellington, you're going to have it on the same level though. Let's see, what else can we do with this? I really want this to be something that's a little bit more tiered. We're gonna have some enemies here, I gotta keep that in mind. Alright, here's what we got. It should be that. Now we're getting somewhere. different levels, or heights, maybe is a better word. Again, I'm not sure if he can make the jump, is the only thing. Whoa! That was a heck of a place to put me. Oh, he makes it. What? What? Oh. Hold on a minute. Yeah, I gotta... let me see, where am I at? This is probably about the same height. I just gotta make this higher. Make sure that can't happen. And... there we go. Boom. I can put a couple more things. There's gonna be, like I said, we're gonna have some enemies in here trying to bounce you around a little bit too. Oh, my bad. Oh, I made it. And I might still end up doing a couple of other things here. That's a pretty simplistic challenge right there with that. Trying to think how I can make that a little bit more challenging. Could change the speeds up, that would do it. Ooh, I missed. Let's try that. Let me just see what I can do here. Maybe I can change the speed up. Nope. How about? Nope. Can't change the speed on that. I'm a little surprised. How about this though? Alright, well, looks like the speeds aren't going to be negotiating. That's alright. I also want to get this barrier block up here in the front and make it taller too. Alright, since I got both of you guys on right now, what is the one thing you're asking for Christmas? What is the one thing you gotta have in order for it to be Christmas? Like Ralphie had to have his Red Ryder BB gun in Christmas Story. What's the thing you gotta get? Ooh, man, is that close. I think what I might do is just build that down further, though, so it goes all the way off of camera view. I should be able to just add more of them. What is that colliding with? I simply do not know. Oh, well, there you go. We can fix that. Poof. Alright, let's do some more decorating here. As I bounce back and forth. Bum, bum, bum. Part of me thought that there was. One of these that might have had snow cap on it. Let's try these guys. Not there. Hmm. Well, maybe not. Let's fill that out there. What else I got that I liked? Just get this filled in. I'm sure several different heights is all. Hunter, what's up? Hunter in the house. Hunter, if you got a YouTube channel, that's the name of your show, man. Hunter in the house. Just make sure you give me credit. I'm just kidding. I'm going to ask you the question I asked everybody so far. Did you get all your Christmas shopping done yet? The other guys are sitting back there going, "Don't answer, it's a trap." What I am making is a toy box where you save Christmas. What is that music? And everyone... What? I'm assuming it's supposed to be "and everyone but my sister," and I guess there's the rest of the sentence. So the music is the music that comes with the Frozen power disc terrain. I'm gonna say "everyone hates except your sister." That's my guess. It sounds Christmassy. What do you want me to tell you? Didn't have a lot of options. Surprisingly, I would think they would have something more of a Christmas style to it. I love these little ones because even when they turn into the big guys, they'll blend right in and it gets rid of the collision problem. And you can really fill in a forest this way. See, if I was to already have it themed, it wouldn't fit into these little spots. Let's go over here and do that. Still waiting for the end of that sentence, man. See if I was right. You're back. You missed the question. The question is, what is the one thing you have to get for Christmas this year? What's the big thing, the item that you absolutely have to get? Oh, you've been thinking about it this whole time? Then you should have a good answer. Alright, the answer to that question is the iPhone X. Of course, you're 11 years old. You should have $1,000 iPhone. What was I thinking? And what color would it be? I mean, presuming you get a case with it, that kind of thing. What's the right color for an iPhone X? Black. Alright. They don't come with a pack. I bought all of my discs. Well, not all, but a lot of my discs I bought off of eBay. There's some people that sell them and will package them up like if you want to buy 3 or 4 at a time and give you a really, really good deal on it. So that's how I got mine. And I bought almost all of mine. I'd say about 80% of mine I bought from the same seller on eBay. So after a little while, she got to know who I was pretty quickly when I would ask her a question, and she gave me some really good deals because I bought so many off of her. Alright, let's see how this is going to look. Well, it's going to be tough to do that because Walmart's selling a lot less. You can still do some online stuff. But the older ones, this one here is a 3.0, so it's not that much older. It's actually kind of new compared to some of the other ones. But the older ones, if you try to get those, it'll be a little tougher now. Even online. Oh, that filled in nicely, didn't it? Look at that. I like it. I like it a lot. Right. And even then, Walmart won't sell them the way like eBay seller will. I mean, I was getting 4 for $10, maybe another $2 for shipping and handling. Walmart has discounted all of its Infiniy stuff, as most people have. Let's take a look at that. Alright, so we're going to spawn in over here. So we'll need to turn that way. So here's where you spawn in, facing that way. Man, those little guys really fill in the forest pretty good. Need some back here. Need some back here. Too much open air. Really? That surprises me. Because Star Wars Battlefront 2 has been having some problems, man. I got it. And why do you want it? For what part of the game are you looking to get it for? The multiplayer, the single player campaign? A Q&A, question and answer? I can do that. What's the question? Look at that. Spectacular. Starting to really like the way this is turning out. Considering I started this stream and this build and had absolutely no idea what I was making. I could probably fill this out. And hopefully I got one that's just kind of floating around here by itself. There we go. Leyland, I live in Florida too. No, it's not gonna snow tonight. Well, wait a minute. Are you up in the Panhandle? If you're up north, you might get a little something. We're supposed to get some really ugly weather, though, man. This cold front's gonna come through, and we get some rain, thunder, and lightning, and all that kind of good stuff. But then the next 2 or 3 days are gonna be nice weather. I love the cold, man. I live for this. And we are going to have some Florida winter. High temperatures in the 50s. I'll break out my hockey stuff. My uncle lives up in, oh shoot. Whoa, I forget what that town is. It's a pretty well-known town up there in the Panhandle. Okay, let's try this again, see how she looks. That's better. When you fill it in like that, then that backdrop in the sky dome really just comes to life and gives it the final effect. Gives it that depth. Still need a little bit more over here in that corner. Now it's so thick I don't know where I'm at. Here we go. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I like that. It's got a weird little glow going on there. I wonder if I can get that closer. I feel like it's too far away. That's better. Alright, so here's a little cheating trick that we can do. Now as you're going up the stairs, you can see a little bit over here, but if I take this and put it real tight to the stairs, and then raise it up, you'll never see that the base is floating in the air. It'll just look like a much taller tree. And we can do that. Oh man, collision. Well, we can do that with a couple of them anyway. Thank you. I've got a couple of them that have done really well. You know, you were talking about Q&As. My best videos are the ones that basically solve problems. So I know, like, people that... Oh, that's going to be a problem. You can see it floating. Like, here it looks great. But on the way up the stairs, not so much. Now the question is, can I hide that somehow? Maybe. I will see. See, this right here is exactly what I want it to look like. And you can't tell it's floating. Well, you can a little bit. But again, you wouldn't even bother because you'd be going up the stairs. Whoops. For the longest time, I wasn't able to do a video on Share Factory here and then upload it from my PS4 to my YouTube channel. It used to work, then it stopped working for a while. And found out a lot of people had the same problem, kept on calling Sony to fix it. They made like they didn't know anything about it, and it's an isolated thing. And it's like, well, it's not that isolated, because there are thousands of people on Reddit with the same problem. And it was basically tied to one of the updates they did. But nobody figured it out. And then messing around one day, I realized that there was a workaround, which all you had to do is disconnect all of your linked services and then reconnect them. So like your YouTube account, your Facebook account, anything you have linked into your PlayStation 4, as long as you uncheck all of it and save it, and then go back in and check whatever you want to check, then all of a sudden you can load videos again. So a lot of people still haven't figured it out. I still get hits on that video to this day. People that have been going... I went a good 4 months before I figured it out. And people are just hitting me up now, so they've been gone 6, 7, 8 months. Yeah, it'll come, man. You just gotta keep on putting out content, and you build an audience. Let me see. How can I maybe hide this? What I'm thinking is maybe... I don't think it'll fit, though. Oh, it might fit. Oh, man. I was there. Oh, that's... that looks kind of awkward, to be honest with you. Never mind. Well, you know what? Maybe I just don't have it fly as high as it is. This one's going to definitely have to come down, because the further away you get, the stronger the view angle is going to be. Let's see if that makes a difference. Well, you know, the funny thing is I was doing a lot of first-person shooter games, things like that, which I still enjoy those. And then... Oh, I'm stuck in the box? That's funny. Oh, am I? Now I'm out. And then I stumbled upon Disney Infiniy. I really didn't know a lot about it. I'd seen those figures in the stores, always kind of knew they had something to do with electronics, but wasn't sure what, and I've got to put this thing down. I can't have it floating. And I started watching some of these guys that did the builds, because I wanted to learn how to use all the logic. And then when I started doing builds, I realized I was getting a lot more views with Disney Infiniy than I ever did with any of the first-person shooters. And it's a different audience as well, so But I think going with Legos isn't a bad idea because Legos is going to be a similar audience as Disney Infinity, and Legos is still in business. Disney Infinity is done. I feel like I need something as a... do I or don't I? I don't know. Man, that jump. How come we didn't go... Oh, we are. Okay. Well, the problem with that is they're competing companies. The Walt Disney World Company doesn't have anything to do with Lego, so they wouldn't be licensing their characters out to Lego. Well, that's actually not entirely true because they do license Star Wars to them. Alright, what just happened there? And I guess, you know, Disney, not for anything, for they'll do anything for a buck. Just saying. See, now that Warner Brothers has the Infinity software, I mean, they could turn around and make the Disney Infinity game again if they wanted to. They just can't call it Disney Infinity unless they want to pay a lot of money, which I doubt they would, and they don't need to. Because Warner Brothers has the Bugs Bunnies, and Daffy Duck, and all that. So they could make Disney Infinity, only make it with the Bugs Bunny and Warner Brothers characters. What happened to my White World? Oh, there you go. I would love it if they would do that, because quite honestly, as much as I like this and the characters that Disney was coming out with, it would be kind of fresh if we were to get, you know, Donald and Daffy and Elmer Fudd. And who knows, they might even get a hold of like Charles Barkley and Michael Jordan and do a Space Jam? Do like a Space Jam play set and stuff like that. Could be really cool. A lot of potential there. Alright, let's get into our decorations and see if there's any Christmas stuff in here we can steal. Yeah, you can get Donald Duck. Did I say Donald? I meant Daffy Duck. Bugs Bunny and Daffy Duck is what I was thinking. What if they made both? Last time I uploaded a video for Infinity or just in general? I've been doing some Division in the last couple of days. So I probably posted the last video on this channel maybe 3 days ago, 5 days ago, somewhere in there. Let's see where we at. Maybe let's see if it'll sit up here. There you go. Dress that out a little bit. Well, I can tell you right now, I stream plenty of stuff that doesn't necessarily come out great. Sometimes I leave it up anyway, other times I'm like, yeah, I'm just going to take this down. I feel like there has to be a Christmas tree in here. I mean, there's one in the interior toys, but then to bring the interior into here, it's doable. It's just a little bit of a pain in the neck. There's a bunch of steps. But if I'm gonna do it, I'd have to do it now, because once you do that, sometimes it messes up the logic, and I really don't have much logic yet. So there's nothing for it to mess up. So maybe I'll do it. Alright, we'll go. So if you didn't know that you can actually bring interior decorations into an exterior toy box, you can. Oh yeah, I give people plenty to laugh at. Let's see, creative toys, gameplay, I think it's gameplay toys. So we need our toy box door. There you are. And right now we'll just pop you back over here. It's not going to be here for long, just for the moment. So it doesn't really matter where you put it. And then what I'm going to do here, go to my properties. And then the destination is going to be a new toy box. And I want it to be a new interior. Doesn't need a name. I'm just going to save that. Okay, back out. So now, first I want to do is save this one. So I've done a lot of work on it, and God forbid a little accident happens. So we go to save. Today is what, Friday? I am thinking by Sunday, hopefully, this will be ready. So you guys are on either Sunday, Monday, or even Tuesday morning. I'll probably be on all those mornings. And if you want to check this out when it's done, you can do the share play with me where I kind of turn the controls over to you. I'm probably not going to stream the rest of the build just because otherwise you'll know how to play the game and beat it. And that's no fun. You got to figure it out. Okay, now we're going to go into the interior toy box. So once you're in the interior, there are certain toys that you can only use in the interior. But if you do this little trick, you can bring them back with you. So that's our door back, but we're not going to go in there right now. What we're going to do is set up some quick, simple logic with our creativity toy friends. So we need a button, and we need a time delayer. And that's it. Oh yeah, and by the way, for this it's easier to use the wand. So I'm going to set my properties on the delayer for 3 seconds. And then when I press the button, I'm going to start that 3-second countdown. When the 3-second countdown is done, we're going to change levels, which means we're going to go back to the original toy box. What I'm going to do now is when I hit this button, I'm immediately going to hit my D-pad and bring up the ribbon, because this ribbon has interior toys in it that you don't get in the exterior. So like your wall paintings, things like the beds, lamps, all this kind of stuff you don't have in the exterior. You got some windows, you got carpet, all that kind of stuff. So this is all going to come back with me as long as this ribbon is up right after I hit the button. So I hit the button, I pull up my ribbon, the counter is counting down to 3. Do I want to go back to the Christmas show? Yeah. And now when I come back into my Christmas toy box and I pull up my ribbon, it's going to be all interiors. Now there is a trick to remember. It'll stay my interior ribbon. How interesting. Oh yeah, I guess it's still in the game. Okay. It will keep my interior ribbon unless or until I select any of these items that's on the exterior. So right now, I can pick up any of the interior stuff and bring it in here. So wall hangings I don't have a use for in this one. Townspeople I'm not going to worry about. And some of it is in both. Seating and beds, new. Appliances, probably not, but let me scoot through them real quick. So if you wanted to put wall lamps up or candelabras, any of that kind of stuff, you got now your stove and all that kind of stuff. So if I was building a house and I needed to decorate it with this kind of stuff, normally I can't do it, but now I can. Need a toilet? We got you covered. We'll go through here and see if there's anything remotely Christmas. Some Jack Skellington stuff. I know we have some. I don't think it's under electronic and appliances, though. Alright. Rugs, it won't be that. Windows won't do me any good. This is what I think I'm looking for the most. Accent and decor. So anything frozen oriented. I know they have the Jack Skellington Christmas tree with the snake. I was hoping they'd have perhaps a more traditional one too. Let's see. Oh, well, there's a snake. Charlie Brown Christmas tree. That actually sits flat. Okay, didn't think it would. Okie dokie. Which direction am I going? Tables and cabinets, creativity toys, I already got that. Alright, so that's pretty much it. The only thing I might need are more of those little Christmas trees, so I'm having another idea. Oh no. Where did the tree go? I must have missed it. There he is. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to put a few of these out here. What's that? 6. It's always better to put a couple more than you think you need. You can always delete them and get rid of them later. Now, I want to get out of that ribbon. So as long as I grab this, of course, now it wants to be difficult. There you go. And now that's it. I'm back to my exterior ribbon. The interior ribbon is no longer. And that's the trick. And because I'm now done with the interior, I don't need this anymore. And it's gone. And that's how you bring your interior into your exterior world. Still haven't touched on this side yet. And I'm starting to think I probably won't need that. Seemed like a good idea at the time. Okay, here we gotta add some enemies. Then we're gonna get down to here. And then you have to go and deliver the toys and probably have a time limit. Alright, well, I'll tell you what. I think I'm going to wrap it up with that right now because I'm starting to get a little tired. And tomorrow's another day. So like I said, I probably won't be streaming the rest of this build just because when I start doing share play with it, I don't want people to know how to beat the game. It's not any fun if you do it that way. Let me go ahead and save this. Always save your work. Disney Infinity does have a really cool safety precaution backup plan, and that is, let's say, God, you lose power in the middle of a build after you put an hour and a half into it. It'll go to a save that was every 10 minutes. I think it saves automatically, and if you go to your most recent file before you upload anything else, it's still there. So you might lose 10 minutes of work, but that's better than losing an hour and a half. And it has saved me on at least 2 or 3 occasions. I never lost power, but sometimes the game glitches and freezes up, and it's like, ugh. You try to think, what's all the stuff I've done in the last 10 minutes, and how much is it going to take me to replace it? Here we go. Ah, I walked. It doesn't matter. I saved it already. I walked through the trigger box. Get a quick photo capture there. Try that again. There we go. Alright. Well, once again, I want to invite everyone to join us on the community page on the PlayStation Network. Go to your community tabs and search for Infiniy Ever After. If you have trouble finding it, not a problem. Just add me as a friend. Username, gamer tag, whatever you want to call it, is Old School WWF. It's all one word. From there, you can just jump on and look at my profile, and you'll see that is one of the pages that I am the owner of. Got 183, 84 different members, and every one of them has one thing in common, two things in common. Number one, they love Disney Infinity, and number two, they joined after the servers went down because they want to keep playing. A lot of people have given up on it, not everyone though. So that's where you can go to find people who will do share play with you, so you can still have more than one person to play with, and you can also get out there and if they've got some toy boxes they saved or built, you can play in theirs, and if you got stuff you've done, you can go and play, have them play in yours. And I will be doing a share play session, most likely Sunday morning. Definitely, I would say Monday morning. So if you're on available and want to save Christmas, you should be able to do it. I think I'll be done by Sunday morning. I hope I am. Today's Friday. It gives me all morning tomorrow to finish this up. The logic will be pretty simple. I always say that. So I think I'll be done tomorrow with it. Alright guys, I gotta go. This is old school saying, remember one thing, Disney Infinity is the game where the only limitation is your imagination. I'll catch you next time when we are once again under construction. Merry Christmas!